welcome to tonight's recap of Utopia.
Utopia. How many more times? How many more times will I get to sing that?
I don't know.
I'm predicting not many.
Well, let's enjoy it while we have it. It's
Exactly.
day 33, and fresh meat arrives because Red is out. He needs to be replaced.
He needs to be replenished.
Okay.
So Katie's first, and she is a single mother of 2 little girls. She's also a vegan.
Not just a vegan, but an animal rights activist.
True. And as if that wasn't enough, she is a topless house cleaner.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. We also have Cal, who is a farmer, a philosopher of sorts.
He kind of lives on a commune with a bunch of his other
I think he said he lives with like 7 people on this farm in freaking Portland. Is Jason Sudeikis running this show?
Yes. So Rob immediately starts asking Katie these really rude questions like...
Well, he's like asking her about her job and she's like, yeah, I work like 8 to 10 hours a week, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because then I can be home with my kids and then...
He's like, well, you're not home with your kids, you're here.
Clearly, it's not about your
Why
kids.
don't you use all that extra time to get an education?
And what are you going to do when gravity takes hold and your boobs are dragging on the floor?
I mean...
Did she ask you what you're going to do when you're... Because your ball bag is 2 inches away from the floor? What are you going to do then?
That's already happened. Alright, well, not everyone feels this anger towards Katie. Josh is kind of crushing.
He's thirsty, to put it in Utopia terms.
They really love that.
Alright, so Rob is the freaking president this week.
Can you say freaking Napoleon complex?
Oh.
He's on a major power trip right now.
His meeting told it all. He was like, finance, this, construction, that, that. I was waiting for the e-cig.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to ask, like, did they have any scientific developments to increase height yet? Sorry!
Alright, so Cal is kind of a weirdo.
Well, wait. One important thing from the meeting. He was like, alright, new thing, like, everyone needs to clean up after themselves, in the kitchen especially, so, like, if you dirty the dishes, not only do you have to wash them, but you have to put them away. You can't just leave them by the sink.
Because that's not cleaning up.
Alright.
Cal's kind of a weirdo.
Kind of, yeah.
He's sleeping outside under the stars. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Utopia.
Alright, so I find it kind of weird how they were like, Bella, don't go out there, no. But them, they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Nikki, and everyone else.
They're not really feeling Katie's energy at first.
They're looking everywhere for a volume switch for her.
She's really loud!
She's really obnoxiously loud. But her redeeming quality is her flotation devices. She's going skinny dipping.
She heads down to the water with a few of those chuckleheads. She goes in there in the buff.
She's got so much side boob, they have to block it out from the back.
From the back! It's crazy.
That's a lot of side boob.
Alright, so moving on to something completely different. The ladies were discussing, hey, if you were in a plane crash and this guy was dead, would you eat him?
Well, they were saying this because
Bella was like, what if, what's his face?
Cal.
What if Cal is a cannibal or something?
What if he is?
I don't know.
So who would eat the person if you were dying? Well, Bella says that she would eat the person...
if they were a vegan.
Right, so she would eat meat from a non-meat eater.
Sounds strange.
Yeah.
But anyway...
Rob calls out Hex in a violent-ass way for dirty dishes, because she's just like, well, I've been thinking about my business, you know?
Yeah.
I am 6 feet, over 6 feet, and you are only 4.
Well, is throwing stuff. He's throwing dishes all over the place. He's freaking out. So then he goes outside.
Yelling.
Yeah.
Explaining why he's so
embarrassing. Bleh. So Hex is just like, whatever. So then Cal comes in and sits down. And he's like...
This was the most bizarre thing ever.
You guys want to, like, learn this song so that we can just, like, be peaceful and stuff? And he's all, I'm gonna sit at the welcome table.
And Rob's outside.
I'm gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days.
It was just really, really bizarre.
It was crazy.
All right, so Rob feeling like he's been an ass, goes to clear the air with Hex.
Well, I think they were kind of like, you suck, you need to go talk to
Yeah,
her.
well, he did. And they smoothed it out, finally.
I guess. So then, Josh and Katie, is he putting on the moves? He takes her down to the lake in the dark.
He tried to. She was like, "Oh, your hands are like
She's
ice."
like, I know what happens here.
And she was like, sorry, I don't move as fast as you. And he was like, oh, baby, I was just putting my hand right here on your vagina.
No!
I don't
All
think
right.
it was. But...
Well, Katie kind of shifts the whole thing. She's like, so what's everybody saying about me?
No. What's everybody saying about me?
What is everyone saying about me and Cal?
They're saying that you talk too much.
And too loud.
Yeah, so that's true.
It's true.
So Cal wants to know. Oh, Cal knows how to fix the garden.
Yeah, he's checking it out. He's like, we need to get rid of this, the pumpkins, the squash. They don't grow in this weather. They need heat.
Move these, transplant these, do this, do that.
And they're all like, oh, yes, you're so right.
So he's trying to help out. Katie's also trying to help out. She goes to the animal area. She's like, yo, can I help?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, all right. Well, I'll go ask if I could help with the love shack.
No.
Get out.
Yeah. Ooh.
So then Bella goes over to Cal and
She's
is
looking
like,
at the garden. She's like, this is dry. You're letting it go to hell. So then Cal is like, why don't you go paint and get the F out?
well, she was pissed because the garden was her baby, and now little Simba is crying tears.
Little Simba's upset.
Of course. So Cal apologizes. They go for a little walk.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird. Nothing happens because Bella's insane.
I thought for sure that these two would be a perfect match, but
I
she
thought
seems
so,
kind of
too.
creeped out by him.
Two crazies don't make a match.
No.
So Rob's fiance visits
He's
because
Mr. President Business, and he's all like, I want my fiance to visit. Okay, cool. So they're all like, okay.
all right, maybe it'll shut him up and, make him not
Maybe
throw
he'll stop
things.
throwing things.
So, a little entertainment while his fiance is there. I think her
Everyone's
name was
really
Jess.
excited to see her. They're all crying and stuff when they see them together.
Yeah. So Taylor gets into a rusty ass barrel and rolls down the hill, and he looks like he went through a war
When
zone.
he comes out, he's got rust all over him. Boy, you better get yourself a tetanus shot.
Yeah, really.
Gross.
So Rob,
He gets the group together.
yes.
He's like,
I want to ask you what I'm telling you.
again, President Business.
I want to marry my girl here. Is that okay? You better say yes, or I'm gonna start throwing you stuff.
Well, of course, everyone was like, yes, we don't want to get canceled. We need to have a wedding.
So then the bills arrive. Uh-oh, hot dog.
Yeah,
Water bill was a little high.
something.
Yeah.
like $2.46 or something.
Electricity, probably food too.
This bill is too damn high.
All right.
Hot dog.
So they decide on the name for the new building.
Well, Josh is like, we can't just call this the workshop. It's too boring.
yeah, it's gonna be a yoga studio. It's gonna be a boom boom room. It's gonna be
Like a craft
whatever.
room or whatever.
Let's call it Love Shack.
So they're all like, okay. And then he tries to push it one step further. He's like, Josh's Love Shack. And they're like, no.
All right. So Miss Anarchy Hex has decided that she wants to draft up a constitution.
Interesting.
Something tells me anarchy doesn't work.
Well, they decide they're going to take something from each government that they've experimented with so far.
Okay.
So they pretty much do.
It's pretty
Except
much constitution.
They're like, what's her name? Kristen? We don't like you. We don't like your business stuff. No.
No,
So
but
then,
everyone hates money so much on this show.
it's weird.
If you don't have money, you can't buy stuff.
Well, not necessarily they don't like money. They don't like capitalism.
That's kind of ridiculous because how would you ever get any incentive to work hard?
Well, some people were arguing that, and they voted on it again, and it was split right down the middle.
Half for capitalism, half against. So they're
So that
gonna keep
means
it.
they have to stick with it for now.
All right, so Hex has taken over the role of planning Napoleon's wedding. I wonder where she's going to find a guy small enough to put on top of the cake.
I don't know. they could just
Maybe
throw
a
Rob
little
up there.
ant. A little ant.
I don't know. So she's like, Aaron, cake, this one, invitations, you, other thing, photography.
Rings, myself. So beautiful. All right, so Cal, being freaky and weird.
This was freaking weird. They were getting close to the vote to decide who's going to stay in Utopia, and Cal pulls Nikki aside, and he's like, so, I'm proposing to you a 1-year relationship.
A 1 year of creepiness.
And she's just like, well, it's not going to be, like, funny business, right? And he's just like, yeah,
it is. Yeah.
And she's like,
Okay. All right.
Did she say okay?
I
don't think
kind
so.
of think she might be open to it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it's time for the speeches, and Cal goes first, and he's like, yo, I got skills. I got mad skills that you need.
He's like, I want to bring in some rituals, some ceremonies. This is sounding so Lonely Girl 15.
And some songs. My parents said I must go to the ceremony.
All right.
But Katie, on the other hand...
Oh, boy. She pulls out this speech that she was working on, this crumpled up paper, and she's like...
You all suck. This is not the Utopia that
Basically.
I pictured, but I really want to be a part of it.
She's like, you guys don't care about animals. You suck. I don't like it. I want to be here.
Before she can finish, Rob totally calls her out.
Yeah.
And she's like...
She starts crying, and he's like, all right, you're bashing us. Get out of here. So she leaves.
And Rob apologizes.
Well, I don't think he wanted to at first. He apologized to the group, and they're like, you need to go say sorry to her.
So he does a kind of okay job apologizing to her outside. But she comes back in, and she's like, well, all right, I'll wrap it up. If you want to lead her, vote for Cal, but if you want to do her, vote for me. Please.
All right, so they vote, and each of them got some votes.
Yeah, it wasn't a total landslide.
No.
It was pretty
Which
close,
is surprising
I think.
after that speech. But I think it helped her out in a way because a lot of people felt so bad for her.
That Rob had yelled at her.
Right.
So I really think it probably would have been a landslide, but...
If that had not happened. Could have been.
Cal's staying.
I'm sorry. He just, like, weirds me out.
Portlandia. All right, so next week, this is what we have to look forward to if they will air it.
All right. Rob's wedding.
Another birth.
And a possible crime? Seems like Josh is accusing Aaron of some theft. We'll see.
A food item, possibly?
I don't know.
All right, well, hopefully we won't be watching it on the internet and it'll still be on TV.
All right.
Till next time, much love.
Edit.